Ridicule is a movie about words. A film about how a well-placed bon mot could make or destroy your career at Versailles. I doubt I've ever seen a movie where wordplay and conversation have had so much power.
Joignez-vous à notre partie, si le cœur vous en dit. Nous jouons à 10 sols le point.
Les boucles d'argent de mes souliers sont ma seule richesse. Mais vous pouvez les estimer de plus près, en vous courbant bien.
Lives hang on the agility of courtiers to use language as a weapon. Patrice Laconte de Malavoy, a provincial nobleman who's also a bit of a scientist, needs to drain his local swamp in order to save his people from diseases. So he goes to Versailles to petition for a royal grant. The film focuses on the intense, artificial culture at Versailles, where witticisms are currency and cruelty is par for the course.
J'ai la passion des groseilles. J'en mangerai autant que Samson a tué le Philistin. Ah, les groseilles.
Ah, des groseilles, j'en mangerai autant que Samson a tué de Philistins. Avec la même mâchoire, monsieur l'abbé. Une mâchoire d'âne, donc.
Malavoy can verbally spar with the best of them, but his provincial manners and sincerity betray him. On one hand, he must curry favor with the king to save his people and gets seduced by the extravagant sexiness of court life. On the other, he's brought down to earth by the needs of those less fortunate than himself, by the kindness of strangers, by his revulsion at the status quo. Malavoy is taken in by two patrons, a kindly old doctor whose daughter is a fetching inventor, and the Machiavellian Madame de Blaiac, a potent schemer and the mistress of a powerful abbé. The abbé is a microcosm of Versailles' contradictions. He's a Catholic priest who's obviously sleeping with de Blaiac. He rides on his reputation as a wit, but he stoops to grotesque pranks like stealing the shoe of a desperate plaintiff at court.
Baron de Guéret!
In the end, the abbé pushes his luck with extravagant witticisms too far and destroys his own career. He's contrasted with an idealistic, simple, devout parish priest in Malavoy's hometown, who insists that faith is for God, not men, but also that all Louis XIV accomplished in creating Versailles was the will of a king, not a man, thus insisting on the rule of divine right. Patrice Laconte rides the line, being both born into the nobility by chance and forward-thinking by choice. He reassures a village lad that kings can work miracles and heal the sick, but he also refers to Louis XIV as just another man who had the willpower to turn his swamp into a palace. So when confronted by Louis XVI, an out-of-touch brat who asked Malavoy to make jokes about the king to his face,
Faites-nous un mot, là, au débeauté. Sur moi, par exemple.
unintentionally daring him to hang himself, Malavoy deftly turns the request around.
Sire, le roi n'est pas un sujet.
Le roi n'est pas un sujet.
4 years later, Louis would be executed for treason against his subjects.
Subjected thus, how can you say to me, I am a king?
The specter of the upcoming French Revolution looms heavily over the story. When Patrice Laconte de Malavoy gives up entirely on Versailles as a useful tool for his people, and he heads back south, we can imagine him just dodging the guillotine. There were a lot of revolution-themed period pieces in the 80s and 90s in French cinema. I've reviewed Beaumarchais l'Insolent, but there was also the bonkers Brotherhood of the Wolf, the devastating Queen Margot, the romantic Horseman on the Roof, the epic Germinal. Not all about the revolution. France has had loads of civil unrest for filmmakers to draw from over the past few centuries, but all with the undercurrent of uprising, as if the French movie industry was feeding into an anti-government restlessness among the people. You remember when you made us angry the last time? The film simultaneously celebrates the dexterity needed to survive in Versailles' bizarre atmosphere, and also its downfall. The earthy world of the old doctor, his hot daughter, and their devoted deaf servant lend a breath of fresh air to the story, and an escape route for Malavoy. As old-fashioned as their farm lifestyle seems, they are obviously the way forward, exploring the oceans, pushing sign language as a new and organic language equal to French, questioning traditional matchmaking versus love matches. Madame de Blaiac, as glamorous and sharp as she is, offers a dead end. If the Abbé de Villecourt is a microcosm of Versailles, de Blaiac is a microcosm of French history, a nightmare from which Malavoy has yet to awaken. This film invites comparison to Laclos' Les Liaisons Dangereuses, best known stateside from the film Dangerous Liaisons with Glenn Close, John Malkovich, and Michelle Pfeiffer. Both films deal with intellectual chess matches at Versailles between a cruel female mastermind and an ambitious man, who eventually abandons the dark side for the love of a pure woman. I'd say Close and Malkovich give superior performances to Fanny Ardent and Charles Berling here. Yet though the plot of Dangerous Liaisons was taken from Laclos' brilliant novel, that movie draws its power from the melodrama rather than from words. Ridicule's strength is in its tight script, which sometimes defies translation, and it knows just as much.
Qu'a-t-il répondu?
Monsieur, cela est impossible à traduire dans notre langue. C'est un geste d'esprit.
Comment dit-on bravo, monsieur, dans votre langue?
Comme ça!
Ultimately, it's Malevoy's rude decency that saves him as the court swirls into the abyss. The word ridicule pops up about 6 times during the film, in both of its uses, as a verb in an acidic society where ridicule helps you climb, and as an adjective describing that ridiculous society from a saner perspective. When Malevoy finds himself the object of the court's ridicule, despite having a noble mission in life and the love of a brilliant, stunning woman, he just walks away, because the soon-to-be doomed nobility are, in a word, ridicule.